morning. This is Jeffrey Bennett with Truck Talk with Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Hey, it's good to see everybody this morning. We pray that everybody had a good weekend. We had a good weekend. Hey, Troy Trojans fell a little short, but we'll get them next time. It was so good to see everybody out at the tailgate. Oh my God, it was so nice. Troy fans really supported Troy State. Truck Talk with Wiley Sanders Truck Lines is something that we're going to be doing on Mondays. I told you last week, and this is our second week of it. And I got some good guests coming today. I got Dr. Johns. I've got Thomas Hicks from the Truck Line. He's a dispatcher. And what we're going to do, we're just going to talk about what's a dispatcher job. Anything to do with trucking. On Truck Talk with Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, we can answer it, whether it be with us or whether it be with somebody else or just the laws and the rules of trucking. Because believe me when I tell you this, if you got it, a truck bought it. If you got it, a truck bought it. And that's really the truth. That's just the bottom line. And I also got Dwayne Stewart. He's our maintenance director. He's going to come in this morning and we're just going to talk about what we do to make these big rigs safe on the road. You know, and I dare not call no names, but you hear all this talk about big rig this, big rig that, big rig that. Let me say this to you. Trucks are safe. They're just as safe as the drivers, and we put out safe equipment. I guarantee you, when you listen to these people talk, and you're going to see just what we do at Wiley Sanders Truck Line. We're just not involved in trucking. We're just not involved in trucking. We're involved in this community, the community of Troy, and jobs that the Wiley Sanders Truck Line provides for Troy. And we're just glad to be here. We're glad to be here, all in. Something we say at work, and I saw it, and we didn't steal it. We've been saying it for a while, but I saw the fans at Troy State ball game, and I was looking at them, and I said, all in. And I thought, that's what we are at Wiley Sanders Truck Line. All in. We're all in. All the employees, all in. We all in this community. Most of all, this community. We're all in. And I got some scores for you this morning. What about Goshen? Went down to Sampson. I had the pleasure of traveling down there, and it was 42-21. Goshen wins that one. Charles Henderson, well, they fell a little short. It was 14-49, they played Oxford. You know, hey, we're going to get it together right here in Troy, Alabama. Pike lived 13. Northside Academy was 30. They fell a little short, but get them next time. That's what we say. And don't forget about Pike County. They won 14-7 playing Geneva. We got some college schools coming to you. Like I said, we got Dr. Johns coming here, and I guess you wonder, why has he got a doctor coming? Well, Dr. Johns has just been a part of the the Sanders family. And he's just going to talk about what it means to him and being around the family. This is a family-owned company that believes in family care. We got all kind of things. Let me just go over some of the stuff. You know, when I go to these schools and I talk about coming to drive for Wiley, I feel so good about Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Let me make sure I say that. I feel so good because I can just tell them, say for instance, if I say, being home, we can get you home. Most family guys want to be home. They want to be home with their families. They got kids that are playing ball games. They just want to be home, and we can do that at Wiley Sanders Truck Line. We can get you home twice a week, every weekend. That's in our bulk division. Our over-the-road drivers get home every other weekend. We've been in business since 1959. 1959. Let me say this. We're not going nowhere. Wiley Sanders Truck Line is here to stay. We're here to provide jobs. We're here to haul your freight. That's what we do. We haul freight. Good home time is very important, very important. And with Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, you don't sit. When I say you don't sit, what are you talking about? You don't sit. Well, if these wheels roll, you make money. You get paid empty miles. You get paid loaded miles. It's just a good place to work. And we'll be right back with you here. We're going to go to a short commercial break, but hey, Truck Talk with Wiley Sanders Truck Lines will be right back. Do you want a good truck driving job? Do you want to drive for the best? Then drive for Wiley Sanders Truck Line. We have good benefits. We have good home time. We have Blue Cross Blue Shield. We match your 401k up to 4%. You can start in the 401k retirement plan after 30 days of employment. You need to drive for Wiley Sanders Truck Line. It's time for you to think about you and your family's future. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. $1,000 sign-on bonus? These guys did. Do you want a good truck driving job? At Wiley Sanders Truck Line, safety is our first priority. That's right, safety. At Wiley Sanders Truck Line, we practice safety. Come to Wiley Sanders Truck Lines today. Get a job with a safe company, Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Hey, at Wiley Sanders Truck Line, we got Blue Cross, Blue Shield. Hey, we got a dental plan. Most of all, we match your 401k up to 4% gross pay. 4%, Wiley Sanders Truck Line, Troy, Alabama. Come drive for the best. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Welcome back again with Truck Talk with Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. You may want to know how did we come up with the name Truck Talk with Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Well, me and Derek Thompson was talking, and I told him, I said, hey, we got to name this show. We got to do it fast. We got to do it now. And he said, well, we just can't do that right now. And we hesitated a minute, and I hung up the phone. And I'm glad to say in about 5 minutes, he called me back. He said, hey, we're going to be talking about trucking. Why don't you name it Truck Talk with Wiley Sanders Truck Line? That is what we do here. We talk trucks. We talk trucks. And we talk about stuff in this community. And I want to tell somebody, if you are a mechanic, if you're a certified mechanic, I've got a job for you. I got a job for you right there in our shop. Like I said, Dwayne Stewart will be here later on. He's going to tell you what he's looking for in a mechanic. But I can tell you this much. There are good wages in our shop. Not only is it good wages, you got Blue Cross, Blue Shield, you got 401k, you got the same benefits that you hear me talk to the drivers about. You got the same benefits. Our shop has got state-of-the-art equipment, just like our trucks. And when I talk about trucks, I think about all these new trucks we got coming. I think about all these new trucks we got coming. We got some brand new trucks that are arriving every day. And I see where one of my guests have arrived, so we're going to take a short commercial break, and we'll be right back with you. Do you want a good truck driving job? Do you want to drive for the best? Then drive for Wiley Sanders Truck Line. We have good benefits. We have good home time. We have Blue Cross Blue Shield. We match your 401k up to 4%. You can start in the 401k retirement plan after 30 days of employment. You need to drive for Wiley Sanders Truck Line. It's time for you to think about you and your family's future. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. $1,000 sign-on bonus? These guys did. At Wiley Sanders Truck Line, safety is our first priority. That's right, safety. At Wiley Sanders Truck Line, we practice safety. Come to Wiley Sanders Truck Lines today. Get a job with a safe company, Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Hey, at Wiley Sanders Truck Line, we got Blue Cross, Blue Shield. Hey, we got a dental plan. Most of all, we match your 401k up to 4% gross pay. 4%, Wiley Sanders Truck Line, Troy, Alabama. Come drive for the best. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Welcome back to Truck Talk with Wiley Sanders Truck Line. I got a good friend of mine here. Good morning to you. How you doing,
good,
Thomas?
How you?
I'm glad to have you this morning. You know,
Glad to be here.
I was talking about all in. I saw a flag at the Troy State game this week, and I was thinking about how me and you and Derek, we always talking about being all in, and you one of our dispatchers, but all our dispatchers are all in. But I wanted you to just tell us about your part and what you do in getting the driver home and making sure the driver gets an honest, good day's work and an honest living.
Well, Jeffrey, you had Kevin Baker here on last week.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin makes my job really easy. He provides the freight that we in turn give to the drivers. And, you know, the drivers let us know when they need to be somewhere and what time. And we get them there. It's really easy with the amount of freight that we have coming.
So let me ask you a question. I'm a driver, and say I live in Birmingham, and I know we got satellite communication, and I text you Monday or send a message over my Qualcomm, and I say, hey, look, I need to be home Friday. My son is playing in a game. Does it immediately goes to work, and then do you immediately go to setting it up for me to be there Friday? Or?
Oh, yeah, we'll go ahead and put his name beside 2 or 3 loads and plan his whole week out for him. and send it to them. And if something falls through, we'll back up and make changes. That's the good thing about having a dispatcher that has been here for better than 25 years, which all of our has, as you know. So it makes it really easy. Real life example, Ray Dunn, you know him.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Called me yesterday and said, look, I got some medication I've been waiting on to get back in. And he was in Washington State. And we sent him a load of plastic coming right back to KW Recycling to pick up this morning, 11 miles from where he was unloading. He'll be back by the middle of the week, and he's got a house down at the beach, so he'll be at home.
You know, I hear you talk about KW Plastics, and Kevin always makes sure he says we got 5 sister companies. You know, he always makes sure that, and I really like that. So you're telling me that you don't worry because you got outside freight, but you got our company freight. So it's one of your worries is not getting a driver home. You just want to know that they want to work hard and make a good living. That's all you need to know, and you handle the rest.
Getting them home is not a problem at all. So, look, if they want to work hard and make a good living and enjoy themselves and have some camaraderie out there like we do, you know, then they can come to work here and really enjoy themselves and make a good living for the family and know that they're protected. So.
You know, we've been working with Trenum Tech, and you go to all the lunches. Well, we work with all the schools, but I want to tell you, next week, Trenum Tech will be here, and they're coming to just talk about their part of it. You know, we're in another generation now where most of our drivers are young. The old breed is kind of coming out, and the young people are taking in, and we've been working hard with these schools and been real successful for it, and you've been real good about coming to the dinners. Some of those drivers, I think, you know where I'm going with this. Mr. Shipman is a classic case of what we do for young people. He just tell us a little bit about it.
Steve's fresh out of college. He started training with one of our senior trainers, and he came on board and finished his training program, and he's fast becoming one of our top drivers here.
I know.
He's a success story that's fun to talk about because he really enjoys his job and enjoys what he's doing, and it makes my job easy when you have someone out there.
You know,
that's
when I think
himself.
about Mr. Shipman, I think about the day I met him at the school, and he was telling me, he said, I've been chasing a football career for 4 years, 4 or 5 years, and he said, I wind up in Michigan.
Looking at him, you can tell too.
yeah, you
He's
can
a
tell.
football
He said, I
player,
wind
no
up
doubt,
in Michigan, and that's just not going to work. And he was in Trenum Tech, and he called me out in the hall, and he said, if I come to Wiley Sanders, he said, can I get to Michigan, and can I make money? And it made me feel good to look that man in the eye and say yes. And I knew, you know, coming down, I didn't know what dispatch he would get. I wasn't afraid. But, you know, everybody got their little buddies. Me and you like little buddies, right. And I know your wife and whatnot. And I was so glad when he was hooked up with you. He trained with one of your drivers, too.
He did. And look, it's hard for a lot of companies to commit and be able to say, you know, we'll get you home to the Montgomery, Alabama area, but, yeah, we can also get you to Michigan for your daughter's birthday for a weekend. That's not a problem. But
yeah.
Matter
of fact, you know, it's funny you said that. His daughter had a birthday a couple of weeks ago, and
that's right.
I saw him over at the driver lounge. I go over there a lot. We got real nice driver lounge, and I go over there a lot just to see what's on the driver's mind. And he was in there, and he was telling me about the birthday, and he said my dispatcher got me home for it, got me up there, and he said, I don't know what my dispatcher calls home. I just tell him where I want to go, and he gives it. And that's good. When you got those 5, as Kevin do his hand, 5 sister companies, you can get people everywhere, anywhere, anytime. And man, it was good to talk to you about it. If a driver was coming today and he was assigned to you, what would your first conversation be with that driver? Just right out the gate, what would your first conversation be with him?
Well, I've had it many times, and first thing I would say would be pick up the phone and call me. On anything, anytime you need something, pick up the phone and call me. Don't feel like it's a bad call or a stupid question. Pick up the phone and talk to me, and you know we can work through anything as long as we communicate. It's the same thing as someone coming to a school. If they pick up the phone and try to better themselves, and we know about it, we can help them.
We can help them. We can help them. So, and you know, we're going to be talking to a lot of schools, and we're going to be talking to you again. But what I'm so excited about, these young guys that are coming in, and we have such a good program to offer them. We got Blue Cross Blue Shield. We got the retirement where we offer 4% of your gross pay. we can get them home. We got new
Per diem.
equipment. We got per diem. Did you see the new equipment coming in the other day?
I did. I saw it.
I was just, because I've been talking about that in these schools, and I was so glad to see them. But you know, that goes back to our boss. Mr. Sanders, I was talking to him one day, and I told him, I said, I'm telling people we get new trucks. And it was about 3 days later, I was walking across the yard, he pulled up there and he blowed his horn, and he showed it to me. Me being old, I forgot when the date was. When they started rolling in, he recalled my hand. He said, I told you. And I was like, oh, yeah, you did tell me. And they come in just like he said. Of course, he should know he ordered them. And I'm just excited to have them. I'm excited to have them. I'm excited about all the new people that are joining our truck lines. And I'm excited about Truck Talk with Wiley Sanders Truck Line. You know Derek Thompson? That's him.
He named it.
He named it, but I love it. I love it. I love it. You can't teach if you can't be taught.
That's right.
You cannot. And I thought he did a good job with that. And he did it in exactly 5 minutes. But when I hung up the phone, it was not that easily. He was saying, well, just give me some time. I'm in Ozark. I'll be in trouble. So we don't have time. And I guess that made him come. Well, we're going to go to...
Did he put the bug in your ear about giving everybody that comes on the show one of his new cups?
No, but I see that's what you're working on. I see that's what you're working on.
Okay.
We will get
I just was checking on that.
You just checking on that. Well, we appreciate you coming, man.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
it.
Appreciate the job you do out there. Appreciate the job. I talk to a lot of your drivers, and all of them say how personal you are. And, you know, I want to mention this. All your drivers have your cell phone number.
I do.
I thought that was so cool. When I got your number, I thought I had this secret code number, you know, and I was talking to a guy, and we was talking about you, and he said, I'm just going to call Thomas. And I was just looking. I said, this is a driver. And then I heard you one day at the dinner say that everybody has all my drivers, you want them to be able to get in contact. I thought that was real nice of you. All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we have Dr. Johns next, and we thank you so much.
Anytime.
We thank you so much.
Enjoyed it.
Troy Cable Security Video Monitoring lets you see what's happening in and around your property, even when you're not there. Cameras in our portfolio, wired or wireless, indoor or outdoor, daylight or night vision, all come in high definition. When integrated into Troy Cable Security Platform, you can see live video from your smartphone, tablet, or computer. Configure your cameras to alert you when unexpected motion occurs around your property, and send clips when children arrive home from school. Troy Cable Security puts your home in your hands. Troy Cable Security. You love them. Protect them.
Do you want a good truck driving job? Do you want to drive for the best? Then drive for Wiley Sanders Truck Line. We have good benefits. We have good home time. We have Blue Cross Blue Shield. We match your 401k up to 4%. You can start in the 401k retirement plan after 30 days of employment. You need to drive for Wiley Sanders Truck Line. It's time for you to think about you and your family's future. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. $1,000 sign-on bonus? These guys did.
At Wiley Sanders Truck Line, safety is our first priority. That's right, safety. At Wiley Sanders Truck Line, we practice safety. Come to Wiley Sanders Truck Lines today. Get a job with a safe company, Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Hey, at Wiley Sanders Truck Line, we got Blue Cross, Blue Shield. Hey, we got a dental plan. Most of all, we match your 401k up to 4% gross pay. 4%, Wiley Sanders Truck Line, Troy, Alabama. Come drive for the best. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama.
Did you know at Wiley Sanders Truck Line, after 30 days of employment, that you can join our 401k retirement plan? That's right, we match it up to 4%. That's gross pay, 4% after 30 days of employment. Drive a Buck Division truck for Wiley Sanders Truck Line, be home twice a week and every weekend. You know, if these wheels roll at Wiley Sanders Truck Line, you make money. Home twice a week. Every weekend, Wiley Sanders Truck Line, $1,000 sign-on bonus. Come drive for the best today.
Welcome back to Truck Talk with Wiley Sanders Truck Line. I have here with me Dr. Johns. Dr. John, you're from Prattville, am I correct?
No, actually, I'm from Wetumpka.
Wetumpka, okay.
I live up in the Weoka community, just about 15 miles north of Wetumpka.
When you come down from Wetumpka to Troy, which I know you frequently visit us, and you work with a lot of people at Sanders, do you see a lot of our trucks?
Man, I see your trucks everywhere. And I tell folks about your trucks. Mm-hmm. I have relatives in Ohio and Miami, in Arkansas, and I mentioned that I'm down here all the time, and they say, oh, look, we see the Wiley Sanders trucks all over the place.
You know, I had you to come today, and a lot of people may say, well, he don't drive a truck. But being spiritual is something that we all need in this world. I don't care who you are or what you got. It's good to have a man of God around you, kind of when we fall astray. And that's what you've been to us. That's what
Thank
you've
you.
been to me. You married me and my wife, and I often think about this, and I will never forget this. You said that this was not a contract, that this was a covenant.
Mm-hmm.
And that day, you made me think about life a different way. When I think about Sanders, when I think about Wiley Sanders Truck Line, they made a covenant with this community.
Mm-hmm.
We buy from here in Troy.
That's
You know,
right.
We
That's right.
we get jobs here. We get jobs other places, but this is our first source.
Mm-hmm.
And having people like you around is just good, Dr. Jones. And I know the Sanders family means a lot to you. I know you've been around.
Well, you know, you've mentioned several things, Jeffrey, that are so important, and when we find ourselves in a community, as my wife and family and I did, and we came to Troy in 2001, and we found right away that this community is, and I can say this without hesitation, we are really a covenant-based community. We have covenants with our neighbors, with the people where we shop and buy our food, where we buy our gasoline, where we go to restaurants to eat, with the university. We have a covenant. We take care of each other. And there is certainly that spiritual dimension that you talk about that we have to have. And I think that God put in us I call it a homing instinct. We gravitate toward home.
Yeah.
And home is where the covenant is. It's not where the contract is. It's where
You
the
make that
covenant.
very
It's
clear.
where the covenant is. And you know, when I thank God for all my blessings, you know, we have an old hymn that we used to sing that count your blessings, name them one by one. And when I count and name my blessings, right up near the top of the list is the Sanders family, because they've been so influential, and I was privileged, I was honored to speak at Wiley's funeral service, and it meant so much to me. It was one of the highlights of my ministry, because I was able to touch that family and the friends, and there were so many people there.
You know, when I think about what you just said about sharing with others and what we've done to this community, I have to tell this story. We set up a tailgate thing, Miss Sanders, Miss Kelly Sanders, and she asked me to help her. And I said, sure, I'll help you. And she had all this water. Well, I'm thinking, why do we need all this water? It ain't but 5 of us. Lord to behold, when we get, you know how hot it was Saturday. God sends you what you need. And it was this band that was standing beside us, and these guys was hot, and these ladies, these girls, boys and girls, they was hot. And we had enough water that we could share with them. And I looked at her and I said, I'm glad I didn't tell you we had too much water. She said, I knew it'd be people need water.
Yeah.
And that little things like that, what puts you in the front row of your community. You know, she had enough Christian and kindness in her heart that she said, and I remember her saying this. She said, carry all that water. I said, she said, yeah, carry it all. And I carried it all, and never thinking that I was thinking about, you know, what we had, but it was a lot of people that came over to our coolers and got water, and we got ice, and that was just the start of what Sanders is going to be doing at the Troy State football games. What you saw Saturday, we have a lot of ideas. Kelly has a lot of ideas, and one of the things I want you to pray for with us is our driver's lounge. She was talking to me about it, and we finna have a state-of-the-art bunkhouse. Excuse me, we already have a driver's lounge. Well, our bunkhouse is finna be really nice. I did not know. I'm a country boy. I did not know they made disposable sheets. Did you know that?
Yeah.
I I did not know that. I just, and
Well, you live a sheltered life.
I tell you, and I was telling her, I said, we got to have something with linen. Something that's got to be done with the linen because, you know, we got to make sure we hire somebody. She said, we're just going to have disposable pillows and sheets. And I was like, duh. And I was like, okay, yeah, that'll work. And I think that's going to be so nice. But, you know, she don't have to do that. That's coming from her heart. And I thought that was really nice. And that's what Truck Talk with Wireless Sandals Truck Line is all about. Well, not only the trucks, but what this community means to us. Sanders mean a lot to this community, but this community means a lot to. It's just like you said. It's a covenant.
It is a covenant, and you know when we are blessed, we need to allow those blessings to spill over into the lives of other people. You know, it's sad to see when people want to hold on to everything that they have because they're afraid somebody else is going to get it. But you know this is true. You cannot outgive God.
No.
And when you have a blessing, you can become a blessing. You can be a blessing, and to see beyond what the immediate needs are. You know, and when you were telling the story there about the tailgate, what Kelly had was a vision. For there were thirsty people, there were hot people, and they were going to need water. It's like when in the Bible when Jesus fed the 5,000, he fed it with what he had available, just a few fish and a couple of loaves of bread, and he knew that there was going to be a miracle. But that little boy that brought his lunch, he didn't know there was going to be a miracle.
He just bought his lunch.
And what Kelly did was she had you help her.
Yeah, because when I was bringing the water, I didn't know I was bringing the blessing to them. I didn't know. That's pretty good.
You were carrying a blessing to people.
I was carrying
it. And I promise you and Kelly and the folks involved in that were way more blessed than anybody else.
Well, that was good. I was glad to be a part of it. It's just good. You know, I just want to make sure that everybody knows Truck Talk with Wireless Sandals Truck Line is not just about Sanders. It's about this community and the direction this community is going. I'm going to share something with you. I go to all these schools, and I talk about coming here to work. I got Mr. Stewart coming in today, our maintenance director, and he needs mechanics and we need drivers. And it's not because it's a bad place to work. It's because it's a great place to work. And we'll just study it, just blowing up like you blow up a balloon. And we need people. But when you stand in a school and you stand up there and you talk about 401k, you talk about being home twice a week, you talk about the per diem, you don't sit. When you talk about all that and you say Troy, Alabama, I notice the looks I would get because they think, Troy, Alabama. And then when you say 5 sister companies, they're really looking at you now. And I start inviting them. And I bring them down and I give them a tour of our truck lines and I let them meet people like Thomas Hicks, Kevin Baker, Brandon Safety, Neil, all these people. I let them meet them and interact with them. And it's been so successful. It's very easy to say something, but to show it. You know, and I don't want to get into a preaching contest, but I think about when Jesus was told that Lazarus was sick, and he didn't move right there. He said it, but when he did it for the vindication of man. Me bringing these people here, I want them to see. I'm a part of it, but I want them to be a part of what's been so good to me and my family, which is Truck Talk with Wireless Sandals Truck Lines. And that's why you was here today. And I just want to thank you for coming just to be a, I can't call you an outsider because you're with the family, you know, Mrs. Sanders and you know, Avery. And so I can't call you outsider, so I call you a part of that covenant. And this won't be the last time that we'll ask you to come and be with us. And we ask you that you continue to pray for us and pray for this community.
Every day.
And all this violence at these schools and stuff that just is not of God. Just pray against it. And we thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for coming.
Jeffrey.
We're going to take a short commercial break, and we're going to come back with Dwayne Stewart, the maintenance director at Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. At Wiley Sanders Truck Line, safety is our first priority. That's right, safety. At Wiley Sanders Truck Line, we practice safety. Come to Wiley Sanders Truck Lines today. Get a job with a safe company, Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Hey, at Wiley Sanders Truck Line, we got Blue Cross, Blue Shield. Hey, we got a dental plan. Most of all, we match your 401k up to 4% gross pay. 4%, Wiley Sanders Truck Line, Troy, Alabama. Come drive for the best. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama.
Did you know at Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, after 30 days of employment, that you can join our 401k retirement plan? That's right, we match it up to 4%. That's gross pay, 4% after 30 days of employment. Drive a Buck Division truck for Wiley Sanders Truck Line, be home twice a week and every weekend. You know, if these wheels roll at Wiley Sanders Truck Line, you make money. Home twice a week, every weekend. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, $1,000 sign-on bonus. Come drive for the best today. Do you want a good truck driving job? Do you want to drive for the best? Then drive for Wiley Sanders Truck Line. We have good benefits. We have good home time. We have Blue Cross Blue Shield. We match your 401k up to 4%. You can start in the 401k retirement plan after 30 days of employment. You need to drive for Wiley Sanders Truck Line. It's time for you to think about you and your family's future. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, $1,000 sign-on bonus. These guys did. At Wiley Sanders Truck Line, safety is our first priority. That's right, safety. At Wiley Sanders Truck Line, we practice safety. Come to Wiley Sanders Truck Lines today. Get a job with a safe company, Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Hey, at Wiley Sanders Truck Line, we got Blue Cross, Blue Shield. Hey, we got a dental plan. Most of all, we match your 401k up to 4% gross pay, 4%, Wiley Sanders Truck Line, Troy, Alabama. Come drive for the best. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Good morning, Dwayne. Nice to have you. We're back. Truck Talk with Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. I told you I had a lot of guests coming this morning. And my third guest, I guess I'll say the best for last. So that I'll make him feel good. We say the best for last. Dwayne, I sit here and my mind wanders back of all the years we've been together. You was over the body shop. And now you're stepping into a new area. You're over the maintenance director in the department. And you've been talking. You've been telling me you need some mechanics. What are you looking for when you say mechanics? What are you looking for in an individual as a mechanic?
Well, I need some skilled help. It's got some skills. I mean, it don't have to be a top-notch mechanic or anything. I mean, they can be right out of school. I mean, we've got a lot of folks that we are training right now. We're pretty full on the training side, but I need somebody that's got some tools, some knowledge, a little experience would help. You know that? Then we could bring some more folks in. We just ain't got enough people to train right now.
Right now. And when you talk about that, our equipment, it's just state-of-the-art equipment. I mean, we up to date with all the latest stuff that's in trucking, all the computers and stuff. I want you to explain something to me, and I know it's not quite in your department. I'm going to have the guy on here that does it, but you don't idle the trucks no more. I see all your signs, and I've seen you pull up and say, switch that truck off. And that's because we got a new deal going, right?
Yeah, we've got APUs on these trucks now, and you don't have to idle that thing. I mean, it's bad for trucks to idle. That's a lot of the wear and tear on the engine's idle time. So we get APU on there, and it cranks up, and heat, cool, whatever, and that saves the truck.
So you're not telling the driver to be uncomfortable, but you're telling him to use the equipment.
Well, use what's there. Use what's available to you.
I noticed you were saying you needed some skill help. I brought you in some young guys that I got out in the community and found, and I've been seeing you've been keeping them working. You know, I hear Kevin Bacon, and people keep hearing me talk about it all the time, things that he say, but he say key little thing. We work hard there. We don't try to hide that. I mean, if you're not ready to work hard, there's no need coming.
Right.
But we work fair.
Try to be fair with everybody.
Yeah. And when you look at, I see you building your shop. I know you provide Gatorade. I know you have ice coolers there. Your main object is to make sure your mechanics and all are comfortable. I've seen some of the changes you have made.
Yeah, we're doing a lot of improvements around there. I mean, it really is coming a long ways, and we want them to be comfortable. We put in new lighting. They've got new insulation, the new roof. We've done all kind of stuff to the building to make it more comfortable for them. It's really
And people that come with us, I know these new trucks come with a lot of high-tech technology. I mean, if my phone quits right now, I'll have to get off here and call my grandbaby. That'd be the first thing I'd have to do is get off here and call my grandbaby. I got 7 texts from Derek.
Well, now these kids, they know how to run that equipment. That right there, they can do.
So when I say run equipment and I think about our equipment, I noticed that we've sent people to school. We have sent.
Oh yeah, we'll send them to school. We see promise in them. We know it's somebody that's going to, we like to have people on long term. We're looking at longevity for our people, and if you're going to put out and show us what you're there to do, we'll send you to school. You want to learn something else, we'll send you. I've been in electrical school myself. It's always an opportunity for somebody to learn. I don't care how old you are or where you at, you can learn.
Well, and that's what I like about Sanders. Opportunities. You was the body shop supervisor. Now you're the maintenance director. I mean, and I'm not trying to stroke you, but that's a big position. Now you have a lot of people to look to you to make things smoothly. And every time I come and I have guest drivers, I like the speech you say. You say, look, I'm gonna be fair. I'm going to do what you need doing, but trust the system. And you have a system with your mechanics, and they have a list they read off. Am I correct about that?
Yeah. It goes through the inspection lane. The inspection lane catches what they can, and if they might miss something, I mean, that's human nature. You might miss something every now and then, but I mean, then it goes up to a couple of mechanics that are sitting there, and they go over to the truck again, and then when our hookup man goes out to hook it, he's looking at it again. So you got all these different things. They write up what they want fixed. Maybe it's something that's not obvious. They're going to write it up. Say, hey, I got and it may sound menial, so a squeak over here. I got something going on that's bugging me. You're going down the road, you do a lot of driving, little things bother you.
Yeah.
It's a little stuff.
I sit here and I look at this truck and here it looks small, but that is a big piece of equipment. Mm-hmm. And I look at the trailer. You got a trailer shop. Well, we got a trailer shop out there that pulls the trailers in, and they do what? They inspect them. And
same deal with them. They go over them from one end to the other. I mean, they check everything, make sure it's ready to go on the road. Did they get somewhere and the lights out? Yeah, lights blow out. Lights are going to go. Things like that. I mean, it can do that going across the yard. But, yeah, they catch everything on the yard. Now, equipment's going to break. It's man-made. God didn't make it, but it'll break.
So I feel it's safe to say that if it leaves there and something is wrong with it, it's not because you haven't gave it 100% effort.
I sure hope not.
We look at this equipment, and I guess I'm hard on them. I see these lawyers, and I dare not call no name, but I see these lawyers, and they're talking about big rigs. But I'm here to say, if you got it, a truck bought it to you, and that makes this country move.
Oh, yeah.
Commodity foods and stuff. Even with us, with the 5 sister companies, I mean, we got to move our freight. And we got to bring plastic back in to make our freight. We got to bring batteries back in to make our freight. And when I see stuff like that, it does make me a little irritated, because I just listen at you talk and all these preparations we made to make this equipment safe. And all those guys get paid. That's just jobs for people. And I don't know, but I've never been able to make it without a job. And it kind of makes you feel bad when people are trying to stop you from just making an honest living. If a guy, say, was in school and was graduating and he's looking to start his mechanical career, what would he do? Would he contact you?
He'd come by and put in an application, and like I said, he ain't got to have a ton of experience. I mean, school is a positive thing. Did he learn everything he needed to know? No, we didn't. None of us do that. We learn every day.
Every day.
All right, so come on in, and at that point, his work ethics is going to be on. That's what we're grading him by. Do you show up? Are you there on time? How you perform when you're there? I mean, do you ask questions? I mean, give me 100 questions. I don't care. I mean, that's what I want. You don't know, ask. That's what we're there for, you know.
And we got air conditioning service. We got some guys that you have sent to the schools to work on air conditioners.
AC, electrical, we do engine schools. We do, you know, we send a lot of people to school to learn different things.
And how would you pick your guy that's going to go? Say I'm there working. How would you judge me because I'm sure you just don't pick. I mean, what would I have to do to be one of your guys when something come out new where you say, well, hey, Jeff, I'm going to send you up here. I want you to learn more. What would I have to do to get your confidence of that?
Well, you know, when you say you want to get somebody that's mediocre, you know, that's what you're going to have. You're going to be mediocre all the time. We want somebody that's going to excel. Show me what you got. Be willing to step out there and take those chances and, you know, excel a little bit. You show me you there. Show me there for the long run that we're not going to, you know, you're not just there as a stepping stone.
Yeah, because that's a lot of money to send these people.
That's a lot of money to invest, and then we're looking for their up-and-comings. You know, we're looking for the guy that's willing to go out there the extra mile.
Yeah. You know, when I look at it, the generation we're in, it's more younger people. A lot of older people are retiring, and I look in your shop. My gosh, you got a clean shop down there, man. You keep your shop clean. I'm pretty sure you got a lot to do with that. It is it's really clean around there. And I come in your office and it's real clean. You're real neat. And you make a lot of little stuff on the side, don't you? I mean, this is really the talk of. I know you made some stuff for Trojan Detail. Your wife does that stuff for you, don't you?
Yeah, she does engraving. She does laser engraving, and I see you got one of my cups over there.
Yeah, you made this cup, didn't you?
Yeah. She does a lot of stuff, yeah.
Well, that's good. You know, I'm just excited about Truck Talk with Wireless Sanders Truck Line. I keep reading that because I want to make sure we do it right. We want everybody to know that we're here to stay in this community.
Oh, yeah.
We're here to build this community. You know, Mr. Sanders left us, and he left us some big shoes to fill. And Mr. Stephen is doing a good job of filling them, and his brothers coming right along. And everybody out there, Dr. Johns just gave me the key word for it. We're covenant. We're all trying to do the same thing. Feed our families, nice place to work.
You talk about how long we've been knowing each other.
Oh, man. Oh,
30 plus years.
It's 30 plus years.
You know, is it here to stay? Yes, here to stay.
Yeah, it's here to stay. And you know, I've been giving out the year wrong, but it's 1959. I want to tell you this. I was thinking that Berg Drugs would be the oldest business in Troy, Alabama. And I talked to Mr. Joe. As a matter of fact, I invited him on the show. And he told me 1962. When he was here. Now, that's making me dig. I want to know, you know, quite naturally, I'm leaning toward it being us. So I want to know who's the oldest business in Troy. You know, if you look back at it, Troy, Alabama, those companies out there has been good for it. But in turn, I think the Sanders for realizing that the community has been good for them. It's just a hand in hand. It's just a hand in hand, and I would like to see who's been here along.
It's the community's that way that you know it's kind of like a big family in Troy anyway. But Sanders surely is. I mean, it's a family.
Yeah,
and family owned, and we've been family for years. I mean, everybody there knows everybody and takes care of everybody.
You know, and I think about that, and I often say this, and I've seen you do it. You know, you'll be driving your truck and a driver is coming down there, you know, you stop and you talk to them. And I like one of the things you say, if you give me a chance, I'll fix it, but you got to give me a chance. And what do you tell them? Nobody likes to come to Troy. I'm sorry, but you may be here a little while. But when you leave, my goal is for your truck to be safe and fixed. And man, I just want to thank you for coming by. It won't be the last time. Ladies and gentlemen, I had to rope him in here now. This wasn't his greatest idea. But thank you.
I did not volunteer.
Thank you, Dwayne, for explaining to us some of the things, how it works out there. And maybe some mechanics will give you a call and talk to you about it. And you sit down and talk with them. Because I know you're like me. Well, I talk to drivers, whether I hire you or not. I want to sit down and talk to you. I want to tell you what I got going. So I'm sure a mechanic, you're not saying because he comes to talk to you, he's got to go to work for you. But come talk to you. You'll take time and talk to him.
Yeah, we'll tell him what we got. You know, see if he's a fit.
That's good. That's good. We thank you, Dwayne. Hey, we're going to take a short commercial break. We'll talk to you in just a minute.
Do you want a good truck driving job? Do you want to drive for the best? Then drive for Wiley Sanders Truck Line. We have good benefits. We have good home time. We have Blue Cross Blue Shield. We match your 401k up to 4%. You can start in the 401k retirement plan after 30 days of employment. You need to drive for Wiley Sanders Truck Line. It's time for you to think about you and your family's future. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. $1,000 sign-on bonus? These guys did. Did you know at Wiley Sanders Truck Line, after 30 days of employment, that you can join our 401k retirement plan? That's right, we match it up to 4%. That's gross pay, 4% after 30 days of employment. Drive a Buck Division truck for Wiley Sanders Truck Line, be home twice a week and every weekend. You know, if these wheels roll at Wiley Sanders Truck Line, you make money. Home twice a week, every weekend. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, $1,000 sign-on bonus. Come drive for the best today.
Troy Cable Security makes it easy to stay aware and stay in control of your home wherever you are. User-friendly interface allows easy navigation for lights, locks thermostat, video, and garage doors. Never worry about leaving your garage door open or the front door unlocked. Your mobile app can send alerts to your phone for alarm and no alarm events. Know when your children arrive home from school with video response. Make sure your home is powered by Troy Cable Security for ultimate access, awareness, and protection.
Wiley Sanders Truck Line, money, money, money. Hey, we got 401k, we got Blue Cross Blue Shield. We get you home on the weekend to watch football, Wiley Sanders. Who is the best truck line that will get you home on the weekend? Wiley Sanders. Money, money, money. Let me have that football.
I wonder, could I run a touchdown like that? Hey, we're back with Truck Talk with Wiley Sanders Truck Line. We got about 9 more minutes, and I just want to say, I thank all the guests for coming this morning. I thank you out there that listen to us, and I hope we just get better and better. And if you have something in this community, this nonprofit, that you want to get announced or you want some help with, hey, call us. Call us right here at Truck Talk with Wiley Sanders Truck Line. We'll help. We're here to help. We're here to help. I got some college schools that I don't guess nobody's surprised. I hate to call this first one, but Troy University, 42, Southern Miss was 47. I actually left the game thinking we had won. I spreaded bad information. Well, it was good information. It just wasn't right information because we wanted Troy to win. Of course, we want Troy to win because it's Troy University. It's a part of us. It's Troy. It's a part of the family. So we wanted them to win, so we prayed that they win next week. I had Alabama 47, South Carolina 23. A lot of people were shocked that South Carolina could put up that many points. I don't think Alabama defense was just really up for the call, and I think they was just going through the motions. I can say that because they live way in Tuscaloosa. Had Auburn 55, Kent State 16. Once again, Alabama teams just showing their strength. They're showing their strength. We'll see further on in the schedule. Alabama State, they fell. They was 7. Kennesaw State 42. My wife is a graduate of Alabama State, and I knew they had lost because when they was calling out the scores, she said, And I thank Veronica Bennett for getting me these scores. And anything that you need announced, like I say, this non-profitable Truck Talk with Wiley Sanders Truck Lines will do it. If your kid has underoath, if your band is selling cupcakes, the football team, Pee Wee football team is trying to get equipment, any family-oriented event, we will be glad to help. We're not professionals here. We're just good, hard-working family people. So if you see me make a mistake, no, it's just not a professional. We just want to talk trucking with Wiley Sanders Truck Line, and we want to talk about this community. We're not going nowhere. Been here since 1959. And I'm going to say it over and over and over and over again. If you need a good truck driving job, I'm dead serious when I say this. I mean this from my heart. You know, we have the best place, Wiley Sanders Truck Line. If you can't drive a truck for us, you just ain't gonna be able to drive a truck because we got it. We got freight, we got good equipment. The biggest thing of all, and you hear me say this all the time, if I talk to 100 drivers today, 100, 80% of them would want to know, what about my get home time? Because most truck drivers are family people. They got kids, just like I was calling out those schools. They got kids to play ball. They got daughters that cheerlead, all kind of stuff going on. So they want to know about their home time. And I get excited. When a driver asks me about home time, I get excited because I know I can get him home. I know he can make money working with Wiley Sanders Truck Line. I know all this because I've been there. 58 years old, only job I ever had. Very proud to say that. And I just want to go back over some of these benefits. And I want to stop at some of them and just let you think about it. 401k. If you started with the state today, it would be 10 years before you would be vested. If you start with Wiley Sanders today, in 5 years you'll be vested. That's good numbers. That's good numbers. You can't argue with that. That's good numbers. The best thing about it is the 4% that we match, that's of your gross pay. Your gross pay. Not after Uncle Sam gets his, but that's your gross pay. You put 4%, we put 4%. There you are saving 8% a week. 25, 30-year-old man or lady can do that for 20 years. Oh my God. You'd be amazed at what it would be. You would be amazed. I can go on down the list. I can talk about not sitting. We don't sit. Why do we don't sit? We don't depend on other people's freight. We haul other freight, of course we do. We haul big lots. We haul beer out of Albany. But, once again, 5 sister companies. We got 5 companies that needs product, that sells product that we have to get out. So, you just don't sit. And in trucking, and you may say, well, why does he keep saying that? I keep saying that because that's very important. Aisle of time. Aisle of mind, Devil Workshop. Aisle of time the same way. You just don't know what to do. Wiley Sanders, when your break comes, you got to take a break because we got freight for you to haul. We got freight for you to haul. We got things for you to do. So give us a call. Give us a call. The number's going across the screen. Give us a call. Talk to somebody in recruiting. We have some very, very good recruiters. We got Brandy Jordan. You can call that. You can call that recruiting number and talk to Brandy, and I promise you, she's just like Dwayne. She'll answer any questions that you have. Any questions that you have, she'll answer. You can call Dale in recruiting. He'll answer any question that you have. Anybody at Wiley Sanders Truck Lines is willing to talk to you. Until next Monday, please, be safe out there. We look forward to talking to you. We enjoyed it. And remember, Truck Talk with Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Thank you. Thank you.
Wiley Sanders Truck Line, money, money, money. Hey, we got 401k, we got Blue Cross Blue Shield. We get you home on the weekend to watch football. Wiley Sanders. Who is the best truck line that will get you home on the weekend? Wiley Sanders. Money, money, money. Let me have that football.